I never imagined I'd become the target of our HOA president's wrath, but that's exactly where life took me. My name is Michael, and for 5 peaceful years, Oakwood Estates had been my sanctuary, a quiet neighborhood where lawns were trimmed, driveways clean, and everyone mostly kept to themselves. But 6 months ago, that calm was shattered the day Karen Thompson was elected president of the Homeowners Association. From the moment she took command, it was painfully clear that she didn't view her position as a service to the community. She saw it as a throne, and we were her subjects. Karen was a woman in her mid-50s with a precision about her that bordered on unsettling. Her immaculate bob haircut was trimmed every 3 weeks without fail, her posture stiff with a kind of authority only she believed she possessed. Each morning, at exactly 8:30, she marched through the neighborhood with a clipboard in hand like a drill sergeant inspecting troops. Trash bins left out 5 minutes too long. Violation. Grass growing half an inch above regulation. Violation. Holiday decorations lingering a day past schedule. Another violation. She seemed to draw a strange satisfaction from enforcing the pettiest of rules, as if our compliance somehow validated her power. For a time, I managed to remain invisible to her obsessive surveillance. But last month, I made what she apparently deemed an unforgivable error. I planted purple hydrangeas instead of the HOA-approved blue ones. Within 24 hours, a notice appeared in my mailbox demanding that I remove the unauthorized flora immediately or face a $50 daily fine. When I tried to explain that the color would naturally turn blue as the soil's acidity balanced, she dismissed me with a smug flick of a manicured hand. Rules are rules, Michael, she said coolly. If we let people plant whatever colors they want, it would be chaos. Arguing over flower shade seemed too absurd to waste breath on, so I complied. But from that moment forward, Karen's attention locked onto my property like a hawk on prey. She began appearing near my yard more frequently, pretending to walk her dog or take notes on her clipboard. I could feel her waiting for me to slip up again. I didn't know it then, but that minor flower dispute was only the beginning of something far stranger. The real chaos started a few weeks later. I had ordered a new laptop for my remote job, and when the delivery alert popped up, I expected to see the box waiting on my porch. But when I stepped outside, there was nothing. Assuming it had been dropped off at the wrong address, I called the shipping company. Their response hit me like a punch. They said the package had been delivered and handed to a community representative authorized to receive deliveries for residents. My stomach tightened. I already knew exactly who that meant. Trying to stay calm, I called her. Karen, did you by any chance accept the package addressed to me today? Yes, I did, she replied, her voice dripping with smug satisfaction. As HOA president, I've implemented a new package security system. All deliveries are routed to my home first for verification. It prevents theft and keeps our neighborhood tidy. No unsightly boxes cluttering porches. I took a deep breath, forcing civility into my tone. Karen, you can't do that. The HOA doesn't have the authority to intercept private deliveries. That's illegal. She gave a light, dismissive laugh. Oh, don't be ridiculous, Michael. I'm helping everyone. You can collect your package between 4 and 4:15 this afternoon. That's a designated pickup window. My pulse spiked. I had an important video meeting scheduled during that exact time. I'm sorry, but that won't work, I said firmly. I need my package now, and you had no right to take it. Her voice turned sharp and cold. Those are the hours. If you can't make it, you'll have to wait until tomorrow, same time. What she didn't realize was that this wasn't just a laptop delivery. Inside that box was also my monthly prescription medication, temperature-sensitive and requiring refrigeration within hours. The pharmaceutical company tracked those shipments closely because of their value and handling requirements. I called her again, my patience fraying. Karen, this package includes medication that's being tracked and needs refrigeration. Please, I have to pick it up right now. She sighed, exasperated. Everyone has an excuse, Michael. If I make an exception for you, I'll have to do it for everyone. Rules are rules. At that point, I knew reasoning with her was useless. I hung up and called the non-emergency police line, explaining that a neighbor had taken possession of a tracked medical delivery without permission. The dispatcher didn't sound surprised. Apparently, Karen had caused similar problems before. She assured me an officer would accompany me to retrieve it. About 30 minutes later, a patrol car pulled up in front of my house. Officer Rodriguez stepped out, his expression a blend of professionalism and weary familiarity. "You're not the first person to have trouble with your HOA president," he admitted as we walked toward Karen's house. "But this is a new one." When she opened her front door and saw me standing beside a uniformed officer, her face went through several stages: surprise, annoyance, and finally, that self-satisfied smirk she always wore when she thought she held the upper hand. Folding her arms, she spoke directly to the officer, as though I were invisible. "Officer, I'm Karen Thompson, president of the Oakwood Estates HOA. Is there a problem?" Officer Rodriguez kept his voice calm. I understand you're holding a package addressed to Mr. Michael Bennett. He's here to retrieve it." Karen lifted her chin, proud and defiant. "As HOA president, I've implemented a secure package acceptance policy. Residents may only collect their deliveries during designated hours. It's all part of our updated bylaws." The officer's brow twitched. Regardless of your association's rules, intercepting and holding someone's deliveries without consent is not legal. Please return Mr. Bennett's package immediately." Karen's cheeks flushed red. "This is absurd. I'm providing a valuable service. Do you know how many packages are stolen these days?" "Be that as it may," the officer replied firmly, "you cannot take or open someone else's mail. That's a federal offense. Please return the package." With a huff of indignation, Karen disappeared into her house. Moments later, she returned holding a large box seal with bright white tape marked Oakwood Estates HOA. My heart sank when I saw the slice marks. The box had been opened and resealed. "Did you open my package?" I asked, though the answer was obvious. She nodded, completely unashamed. "All deliveries must be inspected to ensure they don't contain anything violating HOA regulations," she said flatly, as if her reasoning made perfect sense. Officer Rodriguez's jaw clenched. Opening someone else's mail or packages is another serious crime. You're making this worse for yourself." Before I could speak, my phone buzzed with a notification from a pharmaceutical company. The message read, "Temperature threshold exceeded. Medication integrity may be compromised." A chill ran through me. I showed it to the officer, explaining that the medicine was now likely ruined because of her interference. That was the breaking point. The officer's demeanor shifted from polite to procedural. He asked Karen whether she had any other residents' packages in her possession. Her hesitation said it all. Within hours, after obtaining a warrant, police officers searched her house, and what they discovered was staggering. Karen had converted her spare bedroom into a miniature warehouse. Stacks of boxes, open and unopened, filled every corner. Many bore the names of other homeowners. Some contained temperature-sensitive medications, including insulin meant for Mrs. Abernathy, an elderly neighbor at the end of the street. Others were open birthday presents, missing cards, or trinkets. They even found envelopes stuffed with financial documents. It became painfully clear this wasn't about neighborhood order. It was control, obsession, and theft. Karen was arrested on the spot, charged with mail theft, possession of stolen property, interference with the delivery of prescription drugs, and tampering with mail. As they led her out in handcuffs, her polished composure cracked. Her skin turned pale except for 2 burning patches on her cheeks. "You can't do this to me," she shrieked, struggling against the cuffs. "I'm the HOA president. I was protecting this community." But no one believed her anymore. News of her arrest spread through Oakwood Estates within hours. By the next evening, the HOA board called an emergency meeting. Karen showed up on bail, but she was no longer the imperious woman she once was. Her perfect hair hung limp, her crisp blazer replaced with wrinkled clothes. The community hall was packed. Angry residents filled every seat, murmuring with outrage as photos of their missing packages circulated from the police report. When it came time to vote on her removal, every hand in the room lifted in unison. It was unanimous. The final blow came soon after. The pharmaceutical company whose medication she'd ruined pressed charges and demanded over $10,000 in compensation. When the board secretary announced her official removal, Karen's fragile control finally shattered. "You ungrateful people," she screamed, her voice trembling. "You have no idea what I've done for this neighborhood. Without me, This place will fall apart. You'll beg me to come back when your property values drop." No one answered. She stood there, the once feared enforcer of rules now stripped of her power, shaking with fury and humiliation. And for the first time in a long while, Oakwood Estates was quiet again, free from the reign of HOA Karen.